A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge. Animals, whom we have made our slaves, we do not like to consider our equal. Man tends to increase at a greater rate than his means of subsistence. The love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man. My mind seems to have become a kind of machine for grinding general laws out of large collections of facts. I have tried lately to read Shakespeare, and found it so intolerably dull that it nauseated me. On the ordinary view of each species having been independently created, we gain no scientific explanation. A scientific man ought to have no wishes, no affections, a mere heart of stone. I am not apt to follow blindly the lead of other men. The mystery of the beginning of all things is insoluble by us, and I for one must be content to remain an agnostic. Intelligence is based on how efficient a species became at doing the things they need to survive. Blushing is the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. I love fools' experiments. I am always making them. The highest possible stage in moral culture is when we recognize that we ought to control our thoughts. If the misery of our poor be caused not by the laws of nature, but by our institutions, great is our sin. The survival of preservation of certain favored words in the struggle for existence is natural selection. Man tends to increase at a greater rate than his means of subsistence. To kill an error is as good a service as, and sometimes even better than, the establishing of a new truth or fact. Great is the power of steady misrepresentation. I see no good reasons why the views given in this volume should shock the religious views of anyone. Man selects only for his own good, nature only for that of the being which she tends. We stopped looking for monsters under our bed when we realized that they were inside us. Man is descended from a hairy-tailed quadruped, probably arboreal in its habits. If the misery of the poor be caused not by the laws of nature, but by our institutions, great is our sin. I am turned into a sort of machine for observing facts and grinding out conclusions. How paramount the future is to the present when one is surrounded by children. It is a cursed evil to any man to become as absorbed in any subject as I am in mine. A man's friendships are one of the best measures of his worth. I see no good reasons why the views given in this volume should shock the religious views of anyone.